day. And that's ultimately waiting patiently for the entries and for the positions that we're looking for right now. So today I want to highlight those charts for you guys, show you how we're all crunched up right now at resistance, and at any moment the move can happen in play, as well as the plan B and plan C setups for you guys. So smash up the like buttons. Today is WEEX Wednesday, so I will be giving money away to you guys on the stream. Make sure you got a WEEX account, make sure that it is active, and I'll be selecting winners in today's show. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like Sniper. Welcome to Sheldon's show.
Bam, guys, I feel at some point things are gonna get exciting again. Like I do. I don't know about you guys, but it's just been too long. It's been too long since we've had excitement in this market. But again, we're at the important resistance. We have to play it like it's going to happen. As long as you keep playing it, you know, in order to surf the massive wave, you have to be in the water, right? That is the important play right now. And at any point, you know, I'm definitely seeing volatility enter in the next 48 hours. And a couple of signs that are very important that we're seeing right now is we are seeing S&P break new highs, and we're seeing gold breaking out, and we're seeing assets start to move, right? And crypto always kind of be the lagger, but when crypto comes into the room, right, it does really over-exaggerate, right? It really like, oh, okay, you guys are up 3%, 5%. Like, you know, there's a day that comes where, hey, I'm up 20%, right? And I'm back, right? Crypto is that kind of guy, you know. We have those friends in our friend groups. Crypto is that friend, you know, that friend that's like disappears for a while, goes on a bender, don't see him for like weeks. But when he comes in hot, right? And he makes sure that it's the wildest and funnest times and the best memories you will have in the space. So let's jump into a couple of things. How you guys all doing? Hope you're all fantastic. Keep pushing, keep thriving. And let's jump straight into the action. So guys, this is where we're at. We are on the very important support trend line here, but we're basically waiting for a green candle to push us up to 71,000, right? That is literally the plan A right now. Plan A, which is basically we go and grab this liquidity over here, right? That's my plan for literally August, right? For now. Again, we will see when we get there if we're going to push through and come and retest, right? There'll probably be a little sleep period of 2-3 weeks after that move in that kind of direction, or it will be something like that and then start moving. But I'm still very much for as long as we are holding this level here and we are crunching closer to the main weekly trend line, right? It's very likely from September we'll start getting some real big moves. But again, the important thing here is us pushing up here. If you look at plan A, which is kind of bullish scenario, I will speak bearish scenario and kind of boring scenario as well. But the benefits of this pushing here, right? There's a good chance we're not coming back to here, right? That's kind of the plays where you kind of got to pay attention now, because if this is the one that plays out, very likely these are the A grade entries, right? If you kind of look at just an example of, you know, how this basically plays out here, or a bullish scenario plays out here, is a push from these areas over here up to the 90, 100,000 over the next, you know, couple of weeks to couple of months, right? That is like the play. But when you kind of look at this, you have to break it into certain categories, right? You are going to get this category over here. You're going to get this category here, right? This category over here. These get a little bit bigger, okay, because the market starts to extend, okay? But you're basically sitting with 4 different categories here, okay? Now, if you look at a couple of things here when it comes to the category, right? You're definitely looking at depression. I'm not going to worry about spelling, right? You're looking at boring, right? You're looking at like tough, right? You're looking at negative, right? You're very much looking at like these type of environments, right? That you're seeing yourself in here, okay? In this phase over here, okay? But nonetheless, you know, if you kind of go back to it as well, you kind of look at it and you say, okay, these are very much A-grade entries, specifically, you know, because again, what are you doing right now? We are looking at the plays, and we're playing the scenarios, and we are choosing an angle. And when you're choosing an angle, you're taking the bet, you're taking the play, right? This is specifically, for me, the one play of us moving to the 90-something thousand, right? This, for me, is the A-grade, right? This is the A-grade entries, okay? Then you get to a certain point where the market gets into this thing of like, not real, right? The disbelief, right? Not trusting, right? Type of thing over here, right? This is the slight difference. It's not so much boring anymore, okay? But it's still sitting with this, it's not real, right? Type of thing. And that's where you kind of shift into the B grade. Okay, B grade type of entries over here. And I'm explaining this because even if we're just looking at a small macro move over here, right, over the next couple of months, this is vital when it comes to you entering on a daily position. You know, if you want to enter something daily, and just an example, I go here to the 5-minute chart, right, and I look at the 5-minute time frame over here as an example. And I'm just going to go here because you want to see some action. This is just very choppy. But you're down over here and you look at the entries that you get. In this phase over here, the whole day you've seen red, right? When it kind of gets to this chop phase, it is that depression, boring, like this. First pump comes, I don't really believe it, right? Disbelief, Then it gets into hopeful, then it gets into excitement. And then when we start moving up over here, you're getting really exciting over here, right? So even when it comes to you doing day trades and anything like that, the concept is basically the exact same. Right? It's the exact same when it comes into the play. And that's why it's important to go through this, because this is the different types of entries you get when it comes to trading, investing, or anything when it comes to getting in long, shorts, whatever it may be. Right? So again, then you have the A grade, B grade. Then what you have is you do have the hopeful stage. Right? This is where things start to now shift a little bit. Hope. Oh, let's get this over here. Hope. Right? It's real? Going to happen? Right? You start slowly getting a little bit of like, oh, I hope it's real. Right? Is it real? Like, it's gonna happen. Like, if it does happen, like I'm in. And this is where the FOMO starts to kick in, right? So then you start getting to the point of C grade entries over here. Just get this nice and big for you guys. Right, then it gets to a point where confidence. It's happening. Lambo, right? That's where these mindsets start to kick in over here. Then you get to this point over here, and this is D grade entries. So don't worry about spelling. I didn't do great at school. Okay, but basically D grade entries. That is literally when it comes to, if you look at taking a bet right now and taking a play right now within the market, okay, this is the opportunities and this is the certain categories that you are getting when it comes to your entries, as well as the conditions that you can kind of prepare yourself mentally to be in when that happens, right? Now, again, this is kind of the feelings. Okay, but you got to kind of now look at where things kind of sit. So again, those, if you look at the category, right, and the category is very simple, and I'm going to do a simple line here to just, let me just see, get my bearings where everything is. Okay, so if you look at this type of category over here, you're sitting with two categories. You're sitting with this category over here, and then you're sitting with this category over here, right? You only get two different batches of people when it comes into trading, right, in the market, anything like that. And the realistic truth, right, is this is 20% of people, okay, and this is basically 80% of people, all right? Again, it could be 30, it could be this, but it's very likely this 20, 80% type of range over here, okay? And the difference is here, if you look at the stats, when it comes to anyone in trading, when it comes to anyone in crypto markets or anything like that, it's very realistically that 20% of people really make a ton of money. And like not even a little bit of money, they make a lot of money, right? You see these certain traders that are just buying these ridiculous cars, living incredible lifestyles, doing all these different types of things, right? But it's very much a handful that if you've got 100 people in the room, it's very likely 10 or 20 of them that are incredibly successful. Okay, and then you got 80% of people that actually like, it's hard, it's tough, it takes all my money, it's a scam, it's these type of things and these mentalities. That's just the way it works in trading, the way it works with anything. And literally comes down to this basic concept over here. It literally comes down to when are they actually entering within the markets, right? When are they, what are the conditions that they are actually accustomed to be taking bets and taking plays within the markets, right? So again, if you kind of look at, if, you know, doesn't matter what the markets have done with us. If you go zoom out now and you look at the opportunities and you see the market's oversold and you see that we're at that point and you do have this thing in your head where we could be fighting the bottom, as someone that I am very much paying attention to right now, catching a bottom within the cycle, right? I'm looking at for entries now, right? And again, for as long as we sit in boringness and depression, we must realize that A-grade entries are right now, right? What comes next is B-grade entries, okay? And then what next comes C-grade and D-grade, okay? Reminding again, these are people that are losing money, and these are people that are winning money, right? So again, you don't want to be caught in a situation, right, where the market is up here and now you want to get in, right? That is where you are looking to really screw yourself up, right? That is where this is literally the formula that I'm teaching you guys right now today. Can I get some likes up over here? Because this is the formula. It's very incredibly important to keep it simple, but at the same time, really have a penny drop moment when it comes to these things over here, right? So again, if you want to sit on your hands and wait, you got to realize, no problem. That is one of the perfect things you can do. But if you're going to get in, you're not getting in on a C grade or D grade, right? You're not going to wait for Bitcoin to get to 90,000 and then say, hey, I want to go long, right? That is just forming part of the losing strategy, right? So it's either a play of I'm playing the game and knowing that, okay, I don't have to take A grade, but I need to get B grade. And again, just the difference between these two here. And I'm just going to use a very simple scenario here, just a basic. I'm not going to give exact facts or things like that. This separates a 10x to a 5x, right? That is the difference. So both of them make money. That's the difference when it comes to the reward if you get it correct, right? Is the play of this is 10x, this is 5x. So that's the difference between an A grade and a B grade. They're both winning strategies. This one will obviously just get a higher reward. However, it has to withstand harder conditions when that comes into play. Okay, now again, just before we continue, I'm actually going to screenshot this. So we have this. I want to get back to my full-blown education again and save all these things, make slides for you guys, do some challenges for you guys on this stuff. Okay, I'm going to save that out over there. Now I want to ask you the next question. All right, let's jump in. Guys, shortly I'm going through tons of altcoins and charts for you guys, but I want to get this through. It's very important. Okay, now we're going to go to the weekly over here. And I'm going to ask you the exact same scenario in opposite, right? Opposite side of things now. Okay, so again, I'm going to take this weekly move over here and I'm going to split it into categories. Okay, I'm going to split it into here. I'm going to split it into here. I'm going to split it into here. Right, and let's say I'm going to split it into here. And I'm even going to split it into a sense of, hey, let's say there's more movement. Okay, now when it comes to opposite side, right, the emotions are exactly the same. Right, so this one, I'm just going to do it quick again, but it's depression. Right, this one over here, disbelief. Okay, this one over here is hope. Okay, and this one over here is confidence. Okay, now if you are a person, right, that is shorting the market, right, you are doing the exact same, but you're doing the opposite emotions, right? So this, as someone that is bearish, right, you want to short the market, right? This is A-grade entries. Okay, this one over here is B-grade. Okay, this one over here is C grade. Okay, and this one's D grade. Okay, so someone that's bearish and then wants to short, like you have to short confidence. That's why it's so uncomfortable, right? Because if you want to make money to the upside, you have to long depression, right? Which is hard to really do. It's like, it's doing completely like what you're used to mentally. It's tough. It's like, I don't want to do it. It's uncomfortable. Right? If you are shorting, it's the exact same thing. You are shorting when everyone is, we're going to the moon, we're all rich, you're a dumbass for shorting, what are you doing, right? Like, that is the reverse psychology of if you're shorting confidence, and that's why it's A grade that if you got it right, ask those who shorted 120, ask those who shorted 110,000, right? They coined it, right? They absolutely had incredible shorts on Bitcoin, but they had to do it when all of our asses were bullish as hell. Right, and when everyone was kind of doubting and said we're going to $200,000, right? That's when they had to do the conditions, right? Then you get the hopeful where it's like, oh, okay, maybe we are losing weekly trends. We're onto this. That's the B grade entries. So now ask yourself the question, and I say, Okay, if you are bearish and you want to be shorting, is this the time to be bearish? Even though this box is still big, right? Is this the time when it comes to that? And not even that, guys. It's not even about like, I'm going to be honest here. There's a lot of times when bullish and markets kind of turn and things like that. But like, if you wanted to short the market right now and make money to the downside, like, what are your options right now? Your options are, right, to long, get ready for upside, prepare yourself for the next cycle. Second one is to sit on your hands and wait to see if lower prices income, knowing that you can lose A and B grade entries, right? That's the truth, because it's important for you to know that. Knowing that if the market goes up and it's at 90,000, you've lost your A grade, you've lost your B grade entries. If you're okay with that, cool. You're going to wait a little bit longer. You have to wait again until there's another big pullback and get your A and B grade kind of entries. C is to short the market, right? Make money to the downside, right? But then I ask yourself to look at this information right now, and you can use this information to make a decision, right? Make a decision, make a play. Shorting right now, that is the entry you get for shorting the market right now. And it's a realistic truth. That's the entry you got. Okay, this starts going up, however, yes, now you're getting to better entries. Okay, so I ask yourself yet again, when it comes to all the plays of where we are right now, right, there's two different scenarios. I've given you the mentalities behind all of them. I've given you the formula behind every single one of them. Now you can all go make your decision and make your play, right? Long the market now at an A grade entry, right? Knowing that there's still space, knowing there's still that, right? A grade entry. Wait for B grade entries. Wait for the market to break up. Retest trend. Cool. Knowing that it's just a slight difference of percentage of what you'll make. That doesn't matter, right? C, sit in your hands, knowing that you can lose, right, the entries, or the last scenario, short the market, right? But that is the ultimate truth, what you're seeing right now. Can I get likes, guys? Can I get likes up? Let's see. So now we're going to jump into the charts. And just to remind you guys, just see where I'm at here. Just to remind you guys that it's the exact same strategy when it comes to day trading. Exact same strategy when it comes to day trading. Okay, so let's go through a couple of things. First thing I want to go through is, yes, I want to go through a couple of stock market things quick, and then we jump into crypto. So good breakouts that we are seeing today is gold. I'm going to highlight it because I've been long, and I've been telling you guys I'm long in gold, long in gold, long in gold, long in gold. Okay, so a key breakout that we're seeing in gold right now is this level over here, right? It's a good breakout from gold. So good sign to see that we're getting a little bit of strength within gold, okay? And we've now at the point we have one more resistance, and we could be seeing gold push up another 10 to 15%, right? So this is a good sign to know that one of the biggest assets in the world right now is starting to slowly turn bullish, right? It's the same thing with silver. Silver putting in a 3% for the day. I spoke to you guys around this, but there's the flag. Right, there's the flag, there's the breakout. We're starting to break out when it comes to silver. So that's good news. Then when it comes to the S&P, new highs, insane, right? Not only new highs, I want to show you guys something that's quite interesting over here, right? It is on the verge of actually picking up steam. So let's see here now. I want to get this trend in play. Look at this. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting week. If the stock market breaks this higher, guys, it's changing the trajectory. If you think that the S&P has been growing at a good rate over the last 2, 3, 4 years, right? And it breaks this high here, which is the 7,900 type of area. It's about to increase its trajectory. It's about to go into parabolic stage, right? Now, again, for as long as we're sitting below here, we do have to think, boom, and I will get to some bearish scenarios within the show, right? That this is the time. If bears are going to step in, you got to step in like now, right? But if not, right, we are actually going to see an increase in speed, which does put us in a point of increase in speed and later on a big crash, right? That, however, will be months and months and months away from where we're sitting right now. But nonetheless, right, the trajectory that we have been in for the last 4 years is going to start doing the parabolic phase. Okay, and that is very interesting. And you know what I like about crypto? Crypto kind of comes late to the party, but it catches up, right? But nonetheless, very important. So we actually are now, we got to see more strength. We still have resistance ahead, but good sign to see the breakout that we're seeing over there. Then when it comes to the Dixie, right? Dixie is on the verge of losing the support. So again, it's sitting on support. If bears are going to step in, they're going to step in now. They have to step in now, right? If not, you're going to see a dollar increase in value or decrease in value quite a bit over the next couple of weeks. Right? These are all kind of signs to say, hey, it's okay to start moving bullish on crypto. Right? Am I long in S&P right now? Not a chance. Right? Do I have some positions on gold? Yes. Some on silver? Yes. But on S&P, not a chance. Like, I'm personally not longing that at all. I'm going to wait for that big crash to come in a few months, and then I'll be interested, right? That ain't a A-grade entry right now. That's a D-grade entry that we're seeing over there, right? So I'm not interested at all. However, is this fuel? Can this give us months of growth within crypto? Is this good catalyst to have around us? Yes, it is. Right? So that for me is a good sign. And not even that, we start to look at all companies, right? Microsoft putting in a really good amount of strength. Tesla looking okay. It is on support, right? So it is a good sign. This is a very important support we're bouncing on Tesla, right? And not only that, if it does bounce and we see strength, we could see Tesla move up to $400, right? So that is a good sign. When it comes to Apple, Apple's good, still holding bullish trend. That's a good sign. Right, Amazon obviously had a very strong move, got support now in this area over here. Nvidia, right? If you look at Nvidia, no bearishness right now. No crazy bearishness to say, hey, there's a 20-30% move happening. Right, we're still in all trends, so that's a good sign when it comes to that as well. So let's get to crypto. Let's get to what I'm seeing happen over the next period. Guys, in the next 10 minutes, I am giving away cash to you guys. Right, so anyone has a WEEX link, there's a link below in the description. Here's WEEX over here. Right, you can sign up now. Nonetheless, I'm going to be giving away to those who are using my user ID, and the accounts are active. Right. What we also have for you guys is WEEX decided to say, hey, Sheldon, we like this whole giveaway strategy you're doing here. Okay, so what we have over here is if you register with my link and complete the event requirements, right, we're choosing 5 random winners to get $100 of USDT each. Okay, then what we have is a little PnL board. Right, those are trading, keeping things going. Here's the prize pool, $1,500 to those with the highest PnL. Right, $1,000 for second, $750, $200. All details are below. So shout out to WEEX. Thank you guys. Very, very, very cool. Amazing. Okay, let's jump into the play of what we are seeing right now. Okay, guys. So I'm seeing some volatility in the next 48 hours from the market. Right now, we are sitting in this flag on Bitcoin. Okay, so the first thing is we are at resistance right now. Okay, so what I'm looking for is above this area of 64,500 is a short squeeze to 70,000. Guys, Clarity Act is around the corner. If it happens, if it doesn't, even this. So let's speak around that, right? No to Clarity Act. I see something like that. Maybe this dips to 61,000. Okay, it's very likely we're going to get the news anytime now. Clarity Act approves. Very fast move. I do think here, you don't want to chase this, guys. You're either taking the bet now or you're not, right? And there's 2 places to take the bet. There's some to accumulate some positions here, some keeping some limit orders over here, okay? But that's basically the long scenarios when it comes to placing the bets, right? To chase this, that is going to be a trap. Right, because there will be a trap at some point. This, something like that will come into play, and there will be fresh entries that come in. So even these entries over here, if you want to be patient, that's also something that's available when it comes to these plays over here, right? But nonetheless, short-term plays, something like this, right? If we do get the pullback, but at any point we could see a squeeze to the upside, which means put alerts on all of these top trends, and a break and a close or 4-hour close above these things can be the long signals within the markets, and even taking bets in these areas over here with some decent sized stop losses, give it some space, right? Opportunities. Now, specifically why I'm speaking about today's show, right, is we're sitting at resistance on the Bitcoin dominance, okay, and we have altcoins, right? Altcoins have actually started breaking the 4-hour, right? So altcoins are actually saying, hey, we're going to move a little bit ahead right now, and we might be giving a leading signal, okay? But altcoins are actually in long positions. So if you zoom in right now, I've taken some short-term longs. I'm short-term long in the market right now, okay? And what I've actually done is I've longed this area with stop losses nearby, and then what I've done is I've put limit orders over here, right, with stop losses over here. So I'm actually long. I'm long with stop losses, right? These are the 2 plays. Now again, I'm long here, stop losses here. I'm showing you the total 3 because I'm going to show you on the charts now, okay? And if this gets stopped out, my legs entries are sitting down here on that trap scenario. So if we go back to the Bitcoin charts, this is what it kind of looks like, right? It looks like something in this play over here. I'm long Bitcoin here, right, with stop losses, right, sitting at just under around this 63,800 type of area, right, for the push up to $70,000. If that gets stopped out, my longs are over here, right, with stop losses over here, right? That is the plays of what I'm looking at right now. Now, if we go into the plays, keep an idea, keep these trends. I'm about to give you very crucial trends that I want you guys to pay attention to, right, which is this one over here. Ethereum could be hours away from a pop. All right, there's the trend on the 4-hour, guys. That we're on the verge at any point of boop, right? Nice little green candle ejection over there. So again, for me, I am long. I took some more longs in ETH this morning. I'm long over here with some nice tight stop losses. Okay, so your plays are basically looking like this right now. Right, that's what I see today's risk rewards being. Knowing that if I get stopped, the entries are lower down. Knowing that on weekly, I'm bullish. I showed you guys the weekly at the beginning of the show. Weekly's A-grade entries. Right, we're in the A-grade phase here. Right, so if I'm entering here with stops over there, then I know this one over here, I'm buying both, whichever one plays out. This one's just a better entry if it does come into play, a short time frame. High time frame, we're still sitting in the A-grade entry zones. When it comes to things like Solana, there's Sol, guys. There's the trend. Put it in. Put it in. Put the Solana entry in, and while we're at it, put your user ID in the chat. See these phases, guys. Depression, boring. You see how a fast move just comes out of nowhere. It's going to be something like this. Something like this. Whoop. That's it. And you can't want to buy then. Guys, I'm going to be so honest with you. You cannot. I'm going to be screaming and shouting. If we see a double-digit green day and everyone comes to the show and say what we're buying, I might have a slight mini seizure. Like, this is where we have to play the bets. This is where we got to go, right? We got to do it. Have confidence. Get back on the horse, right? Even if crypto has broken your heart, right? We've all had our hearts broken in our lives, right? From relationships, from this. At some point, you can get back on the horse and start dating again, right? So today, I'm inviting you to start dating again, right? And think of WEEX as Tinder. And think of, right? Think of these places over here. It's your time to start dating again. Okay. There's the trend on Solana. I'm long Solana. I took the long with you guys 2 days ago as well, right? But from here, I'm looking for a long up. And again, I just see us really start making our way to $90 to $100. Okay, if we reject here, my entry's over here. All right, so again, some tight stops here. Boom. We'll move up there. Good risk to reward. If not, my next ones are sitting over there. That is the opportunities that I'm seeing when it comes to things like Solana. Keep an eye out on Chainlink. Do you see where Chainlink's at? On the daily resistance. The squeeze is $11. Right, XRP, bearish right now. XRP is not on my top list today. High time frame, I think it's a good entry for investing, but nothing crazy there right now. What else am I seeing? So Solana is one of the top ones to pay attention today. Ethereum is one of the top ones. Chainlink's one of the top ones. Let's go through the list. Keep an eye out on AVAX. AVAX actually put in a really good daily candle yesterday. Let's just put this in. AVAX might be one to really pay attention. AVAX, why I'm so interested is because it has this huge gap, right? Big squeeze gap. But let's go through this over here. Okay, look at that. We're just below. We start popping through here. There's a squeeze, right? So AVAX is also one to pay attention to. Let's see SUI. Okay. DA. What I mean by DA is dead average. Render, not yet, few days, we've got some time. So again, some altcoins will be a little bit later than others. Cardano, let's see Cardano. Cardano is starting to move, guys. Is anyone pay attention that Cardano is like up 26% over the last 7 days? Just slowly in the background there, catching up and moving. So yes, it's a good breakout. This is a little bit more of a spot entry. So if something's already moved a little bit more, I have to give it a little bit more room at the stop loss. So it's definitely not a leverage position, right? But it's definitely a spot position to keep into play. But yes, Cardena's waking up. Fetch. Pay attention first. Let's see if we actually got a high time frame trend here. That is interesting. Let's see. Okay, so that one is the high. Where are we at here? Okay, so that gives me an idea of where Fetch can go over the next couple of weeks. So Fetch can get up to around 40 cents next couple of weeks, which means if I'm looking at entries now, the next resistance is up over here. Okay, and we are starting to break here. So not bad. A starting entry on Fetch. High time frame, I think, is a really good entries. I really do. This is like creme a la creme. Like if you have any bit of bullishness bone in your body for Fetch, like this is like creme a la creme high time frame entry. Like you don't get, like that's really good. That's like a plus, like A plus. It's really at the bottom of the range. Do we have user IDs there, Mike's? Do we? Let me actually get this ready for a second. Hold on. I'm just gonna give all my money away. Yeah. Okay, let's give all my money away. Let's give all my money away. Okay. Working. You checked it. Fun. Okay, Keanu. Let's do this. Let's add you in here. Okay, USDT user ID 2403801943. How's those user IDs looking, guys? Guys, are you is today a good show? Let me know. Let me know with the likes. Let me know with the comments. I'm feeling very good again. 377. Yeah, I'm just giving away money.
You're giving away money. Are we going for a trip?
Yeah, we're gonna go now.
Okay, let me know.
No, next 5 minutes. Okay, Keanu's in. Let's do this transfer. Okay, 2403 801943. You guys enjoying the stream? Let me know. Okay, 801943. Keanu. Takes a little bit longer for me to do it now. At least you know WEEX has really good security. Whew. Okay, last one. 6442. Okay, Jadu, you've been paid. Let me know. Let me know if you got it. Okay, Mikey, let's do one more. We need to work out a system, Mike, so that I can keep the show going and then you can pay the people. So one of my is saying, do you accept being my money man? Can you be the money man? And then we can do shows and then I can continue the show. Just continue for 2 secs, even though I'm going to be late with the run. Okay, then you choose another user ID. Let me know that they approved. Okay, Ondo. What are we seeing with Ondo right now? Okay, Ondo, okay. DA. Pendle's putting in a good day so far, 3%. DA, like not bad. Not a bad entry, but it's not breaking. Let's just see here. Is this thing breaking out? Not yet. Yeah, nearly. Guys, stay tuned to every show going forward now. Market pops now. You're going to want to be here. There's so many altcoins to speak about. Okay, that's it. So Solana, Chainlink, ETH. Those are kind of my first plays. when it comes to ones that I see breaking and showing strength. Uniswap's also a good one. Okay, give it to me, Mikes. Let's see if I can get faster with this now. Okay. No one. No one. No one. Okay, have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Lots of love. Bye-bye.